There's some things that you may not know about me.
There's stuff I haven't told you to.
What are you gonna do for this family? I don't want to end up like you.
One of the many problems I think a lot of people had was the fact Tariq had to basically walk everywhere in Season 2 of Ghost, but in the latest teaser for Ghost Season 3, it seems like Tariq is finally behind the wheel, and maybe they've finally given him a car, because I'm pretty sure he's tired of walking around New York and being dropped off in the middle of nowhere, being told to find his own way back.
All this shit I be doing for this family, you can't even offer me a ride.
But besides the fact that Tariq may finally have a car this season, Starz dropped a new teaser and some new scenes for Ghost Season 3, and there is a lot to unpack from Tariq and Effie, who both admit they've got secrets, to Tariq confronting Brayden. With the Tejadas, it seems like all hell is breaking loose with Monet and Lorenzo, and there also seems to be trouble with law enforcement, along with trouble with Diana, and is this Davis Maclean's first defeat? So let's unpack these new scenes for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3. Now, one of the traits that Ghost used to have was keeping secrets from Tommy, Tasha, and generally those he did business with, whether it be in the street game or the real world of business. Ghost knew the less that people knew, the better, because then you're able to have better control over situations, secrets, and make the best moves on the chessboard. As they say, great moves come from great positions. Ironically, this is a trait that seems to have been passed down to Tariq St Patrick. In both Season 1 and 2, he only told Brayden what he needed to know. But this caused conflict where in the end, Tariq had to tell him what really went down with both Officer Ramirez and Jabari, as well as what happened with 2-Bit. So with that in mind, Effie is a character who's very similar to Tariq, and she's also a character who holds some dark secrets. We hear Tariq telling Effie there's some things you may not know about me, and Effie responds with, there's stuff I haven't told you too. Now, secrets that Tariq holds are of course things that have happened in the past with his father, Kanan, Tasha, Tommy, and so on, but they don't necessarily affect or have anything to do with Effie, unless there is something that's happened in Season 3 before this conversation. But Effie, on the other hand, she's the one who killed Lauren, and that's one of Effie's secrets. I say one of her secrets because Season 3 is set to unpack and dive deeper into her backstory, so I do wonder what else she could be hiding in terms of what she's done, her family, her brother, and so on. There's also the fact that Effie may be in trouble with law enforcement. Now, although I doubt Effie would snitch, we can never say never after what happened with Mecca. So could she have slipped up if she's taken in for questioning? Or could something else have happened that puts Tariq or any other Tejadas in danger? We can't rule anything out just yet, although the most logical explanation to this scene seems to be Tariq getting down to the bottom of Lauren's death. It's also the same jacket Effie was wearing when Tariq questions her about the truth, and where it seems like she's reaching for a piece. Now, I'm pretty sure she's not stupid enough to pull a piece on Tariq, so I do think this scene is a bit of a curveball, but Tariq will be getting awfully close to the truth, a truth that Effie wants her and Brayden to take to the grave.
There are only 2 people on this planet who know what we did, and we're taking it to the grave.
There are only 2 people on this planet who know what we did, and we're taking that to the grave. But is it just 2 people, or is there a third?
I never, did that. I gave you a gun, rich kid, use it.
Now, I'm sure you've all heard the term knowledge is power, and the same works in the game. Information is key to manipulating situations, getting control over your enemies, and gaining power. So I don't believe it's just 2 people who know the truth. Kane Tejada is someone who else was involved, although I'm not so sure he knows it was Effie who killed Lauren, because he gave the task to Brayden. So for all we know, Kane may think Brayden actually killed Lauren. So if Effie or Brayden don't say anything, could we actually see Kane telling Tariq that makes him connect the dots back to Brayden and then Effie? One thing we have to remember is Kane was mentored by Mecca in Season 2 of Ghost, and he learned the very best way to control Tariq St Patrick is to get control over Brayden. We saw him drive a wedge between the 2 best friends, and so would we really be surprised if he pulls something similar? As I mentioned, information is power, so Kane Tejada's chess moves are definitely ones to watch, and with the combination of his unpredictability, his ability to manipulate situations for his own benefit, and being mentored by Mecca, he's going to be even more dangerous in Season 3 of Ghost. Now, when it comes to the relationship between Tariq and Brayden, the Lauren situation will certainly make things more complex, and Tariq will definitely press Brayden for answers. We haven't seen Brayden this aggressive in Power Book 2 Ghost just yet, although we did see him lay into Brayden after he was released on bail in Season 2, but he got as good as he gave. But in Season 3, we're going to see him flip a switch. We're going to see him grabbing Brayden and pressing him for the truth. Now, unless Starz have thrown us a major curveball, this can only be about one person, Effie. So this scene may be the one where Tariq is slamming Brayden for his part in Lauren's death. So as I mentioned, Tariq is going to be on demon time.
What am I gonna do for this family? I don't want to end up like you.
So what are you going to do for this family? it seems that Tariq is giving Brayden no choice, and just like in season 2, Brayden will have a tough decision to make, but Tariq is done playing games. Whether this is before or after Tariq finds out about Lauren, I think the tone that Tariq is speaking in, he's not happy about something. Whether it's a Lauren situation or something else, the game always has surprises, which is why Brayden says he doesn't want to end up like Tariq St Patrick. But what's he like? He's a monster, he's a killer, but he also protects those he loves the most, especially when it comes to Tasha and Yasmin. But Brayden saying he doesn't want to end up like Tariq St Patrick is too late. Whatever Tariq is asking him to do, he needs to do it, because Effie made him aware he chose a game, and now he needs to play by the game's rules. You can't just pick and choose when you want to play and how you want to play, or have a knight move across the board in positions he can't, because that's not how the game works. You find the best possible move in the position you're in, and it seems like Brayden needs to make that move. Now, moving on to the Tejadas, in the official trailer, we had Monet telling Diana shit is about to get real, and this teaser only reaffirms the fact the Tejadas are broken beyond repair. We hear Monet telling Lorenzo, get out of my house. Again, very similar to the scene with Brayden and Tariq, we need to pay close attention to the dialogue. She said her house, not Lorenzo's. But not only does she tell him to get out of her house, she tells him to leave New York altogether. So what could Lorenzo have done to make Monet kick him out the house? We all know he killed Zeke, but I highly doubt this is the moment where Monet finds out it was Lorenzo, because if she did, believe me, she'd be pulling a piece. So what did Lorenzo do now? In season 1, Monet hinted that Kane gets his unpredictability and impulsive decision making from Lorenzo, which was only reaffirmed when he shot and killed Zeke. She also mentioned how he made stupid decisions which got him locked up in the first place. There's also Evelyn who warned Monet Lorenzo needs to watch his back. So could Lorenzo have done something to put the Tejadas in danger and on the radar of law enforcement? We see the DEA busting into the Tejada home, and Blanca Rodriguez would love to put the handcuffs on someone, and that someone could very well turn out to be Monet Tejada, which is something I'm going to cover in detail in my next video. But based on the synopsis, we know that law enforcement will be building a RICO investigation into the entire drug empire, and it seems like the Tejadas are firmly in Blanca Rodriguez's side. Now, elsewhere with the Tejadas, Diana seems like she's telling Monet that it's you that's killed everything good in this family. But is it solely Monet's fault, or should each and every single one of these Tejadas take a fair share of the blame? Monet did keep the secret of Zeke for 22 years, but let's not pretend Diana's innocent. She's someone who's becoming very street savvy, and she is always poking her nose into business she shouldn't be. Now, when you have a problem, sometimes you have to pay someone to fix them or make them go away, and that's what Davis is for. We see Monet giving cash to Davis and telling him she needs every single document he has on me, but who has what? We know that they're going to be building this RICO investigation into the entire drug empire, and we also know Cooper Saxe will be working undercover for Jenny Sullivan. Now, we know Davis doesn't have an ethical bone in his body, and we only have to look at the scenario where he let Tariq St Patrick listen to the recording. For him, money is a driving force behind most of his choices, so I think we're going to see Davis and Monet working very closely when it comes to trying to find out about Zeke's death, as well as keeping the Tejadas out of prison. So if Monet pays, Davis will certainly deliver. Now, something we rarely see is Davis Maclean losing his cool, and certainly not in this manner. We've seen him tear into Saxe before, and when he wants to get shit done, or even uses intimidation as a weapon, he'll certainly use every single tool at his disposal. But Davis throwing the food and drinks cart and letting out a huge scream tells us that something major has happened. Could Davis have suffered his first defeat? Has he found out Saxe was playing him? Or could Theo have sadly passed away before he could make it out of jail? Because he is suffering from a medical condition, and the doctor did say it's not looking good. Now, Davis could end up being in a situation where not only does he lose his brother, but Saxe connects the dots to him being the man behind the manslaughter. A double whammy, a lose-lose. So something has definitely made Davis lose his shit, because normally he is pretty calm. But that's a breakdown of the new teaser scene by scene. It seems like relationships are at boiling point across the chessboard. Effie and Tariq hold secrets, Tariq and Brayden will be at odds, and so will Lorenzo and Monet with the addition of Diana. But what seems to be the added dilemma this season compared to the last is Blanca Rodriguez and the DEA. So drop all your thoughts down below on the new teaser scenes and let me know your thoughts and perspectives. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.